How we doing this morning? Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you're having a great day and are ready for some Pokemon card stuff, because that's what we got going on today. Pokemon card stuff. Well, let's go. Yesterday, y'all showed me who was boss in Gym Leader Challenge. I did not have a very positive record yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not have the best record, but that'll happen sometimes, okay? It's part of the deal. I am gonna have a better day today, that's for sure. No mercy. Now, I've been thinking a lot about the channel, the stream, you know, the YouTube channel, my Twitch stream. Yo, sorry to hear that, Stexon. Feel better, man. No, not yesterday. No, PTCGO shutting down. I could have probably just played PTCGO comfortably for another handful of years and not really questioned what I was doing. But now, you know, with PTCGO shutting down, you know, it's got me thinking a lot about, like, just what I'm gonna do. You know, am I gonna try and just goof around on PTCG Live all the time? The thing is I'm not passionate about content that I produce on this client, so I don't. It's the equivalent of going to work and phoning it in, you know. I don't want to phone it in. That's not what I do. So I texted Azul this morning and I was like, hey man, you ever think about moving to Akron, Ohio? That's where we're at, okay? Just to let you know. Yeah, full disclosure, that's where I'm at. I woke up this morning. And I'm like, hey man, just think of the tabletop content we could produce together. You and me, living in Akron, Ohio. Just think of all the content we could create together. Well, there's a lot of benefits to living in Akron, Ohio. It's affordable. It's close to Full Grip Games. Yo, Quantic, what you trying to say about Akron? Akron's awesome. I love Akron, Ohio. Genuinely. But I think there's probably never been a better time to transition away from, you know, it's kind of forcing, it's like forcing my hand at a certain point. You know, it's like if I don't want to do this, I need to figure out something else to do. So that's fine. I know. Imagine moving to Akron. Many are saying that it's the best thing that you can do. Oh, Lordy have mercy. Anybody know what's up with this like crazy Technicolor board? Any ideas? This just what we got going on right now. Anybody know what's up with that? I'm just being a just curious Andy, you know. I'm just being curious is all. It's colorless. Is this like intended? Is this what colorless is supposed to look like, or is this a visual glitch? But I don't know. I don't know if I should eviscerate this because it looks bad or if it's a glitch. You know what I mean? The fact I can't tell if this is how it's supposed to look or if this is a glitch because it looks like a glitch. This is what it's so this is intentional. It's supposed to look like this. Oh, Lordy God, have mercy. Oh, Christ. All right. Not a glitch. This is all right. Okay. This is intentional. This that's okay. You know what? That's okay. See, I don't really see myself playing this. It's just like, am I gonna? Yeah, no. All right. Goodness. Okay. I don't think that the board should change at all. I mean, frankly. The board should just be like an atmospheric, pleasing place to play cards. The thing is, I don't really care if some types are not that bad. That's not really what I'm aiming for, you know? It's distracting, it's ugly, yeah, there's a lot of things going on with it. It feels bad to play. No, the board should not change. Just period. I think like the board should just not change at all. Yeah, it's like they have all this graphic effect for no reason. Because I think they have this idea that like the board needs to change in order for it to be exciting. And that's just not the case. The board, and no, people who say the board should change with the stadium, I'm sorry, but that absolutely should not be what happens. Absolutely not. Because you're implying a bunch of different things. You're implying, A, the board should change, which I think is absolutely not. And then B, you're also implying that the Pokemon Company International is going to design a new board every time a stadium's released, which is also unrealistic. So, just absolutely not across the board. The stadium idea is never going to happen, all right? And I don't think it should happen. Because TPCI is not going to design a new board every time a stadium's released. And I just don't think that the background should change at all. Frankly, like, what the client, and I've said this a million times before, it just is, it's going to be ad nauseum at this point, but it's like, it's where we're at, right? So I think what makes the most sense is to just do what's already successful. Just oh, you're talking about hacking the economy? I don't care about hacking the economy, brother. Just give me some gameplay, bro. Angelic control. Here we go. The stages IMO, and shout out to the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel, I guess. Okay. The board should change like a level in Smash Brothers. Yes. It shouldn't change while you're playing. It should change like every time you go to play. There should be like a handful. It should change like a level in Splatoon or like a level in Smash Brothers or like a level in Mario Kart. Like there should be different atmospheric places where you battle. Like you do when you play Pokemon. When you play Pokemon, the arena doesn't just change magically around you all the time. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Not at all. None. And the thing is, all these other games look and feel so much better. And they don't change constantly while you're playing. Like, the animation should be the only thing that's really happening. Because, frankly, imagine, this would look so sloppy if the background was changing on you constantly. It would be almost impossible to focus on what's actually happening at the table. So I think, like, whoever is designing TCG Live has this idea that, like, that more is better, but then also is doing more in all the wrong ways. And it's just, it doesn't have like an artist's touch. It doesn't have like an experienced designer's feel. There's just, it's so apparent that whatever's happening with it is just not being done by someone who's done it before. Because there's going to be a lot of animations with like cards and stuff. Imagine if your avatar looked something like what belonged in the game, right? Imagine if your avatar looked like something that came from Pokemon. Like this. That'd be dope. Also, like this is just like a nice kind of soothing defeat screen. It just looks good. It's not abrasive. It doesn't hurt my eyes. Look, here's a different board. Look, it's like every time you queue up, we could have a different Pokemon themed board. Well, both players should play on the same board. So it's like it should just be a random, every time you play a game, it should be on a random board. It should not just be like this. The board should not be constantly changing. it made me so upset that they moved in that direction, because it just proved to me that whoever's calling the shots is just not leading it in the correct direction at all. It's just like whoever was like, yeah, we should change the board more, is like, no, that's the exact opposite. You have too many animations already, and you're adding more unnecessary animations. You need to cool out the board, make the animations that the cards do look better and feel better. It's like, it makes me feel like whoever's calling the shots or whoever's like leading the charge doesn't know what the game needs, which is part of it's like, so they keep asking the community what they think the game needs, but the community is not a bunch of game designers. So frankly, asking the community, people don't know what they want, man. You need to have someone who knows what to deliver and deliver it well. You can't, the community is not game designers, and they're not artists, and they don't, for the most part, they don't know. So asking the community can only help so much. It's like, I understand the intentions are fair and the intentions are fine, but like, it's still not the right direction. What you need to do is you need to stop asking the community what they think, and you need to hire some like real big AAA game designer and listen to what they think. Thank you, Pokemon Dan fan TCG. It's like, you got to stop asking the community what they think. You got to hire somebody who's done this before, like really well. It's just what it is. So, like, look, each level, you see what I'm saying? Each game, and it helps keep things fresh. It helps keep things interesting every time you queue into a game, but it's not distracting. It's not like, it doesn't make my head want to pop off my shoulders. There's just a nice, clean, atmospheric arena that I'm playing in every time I play. The cards make natural, fluid animations that feel exciting and fun and not jarring, and they don't give me whiplash, right? Every level has its own vibes. The level should not switch in the middle of the game. The level should not, the arena should not switch, because you're playing the, it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless to even talk about, because it just doesn't matter. Nobody's listening, and it doesn't matter. And like, it just doesn't matter. So I need to just stop, because it's unhealthy. You know? So. Well, it's like, you try to be... No, I don't feel like I'm being hushed. I just feel like I feel like I'm wasting my breath. I think it's okay for this client to be monetized, but maybe there's like some reason legally why they cannot monetize the client. Probably something to do with the interaction between the Pokemon Company International and the Pokemon Company Japan. So I think it's just, and that's got me really... The thing is like, I'm not gonna... Like, my content has been improving, and I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud of the trajectory that it's taken. I'm not gonna, like... I'm not going to log. I'm playing on a client that is so dysfunctional like that and so, like, frankly, kind of embarrassing is going to negatively impact my content in a way that, like, it just is just going to make it, the vibes are going to be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Jon Snow, for the Prime sub and the 30 months. Pleasure meeting you. And thank you, Jesse, for the 49 months. I appreciate that Prime sub. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think there's like, you know, I'm very thankful for the Pokemon trading card game online and how this game kind of allowed me to seamlessly share my love of the Pokemon trading card game, you know, with hundreds of thousands of people over the course of the last, you know, handful of years. I'm incredibly thankful for that. But I just don't believe that Live is going to allow me to do that based on what I've seen out of the last year. So yeah, so this morning I texted Azul and I was like, "Hey Azul, you ever think about moving to Akron, Ohio?" Well, Lewis, that's what I, you know, you would think maybe, right? So Calcifer says maybe it will get better over time, and maybe it will get better over time. But, like, I don't want to wait and like, I'm not going to sit around twiddling my thumbs for 5 years waiting for it to get to the level that PTCGO is at. You know, PTCGO has been being developed for over a decade. And PTCG Live has been developed for 5 years. So, exactly, Steve Jerkel. I've paid my dues already, frankly. So, yeah, PTCGO has been in development for over 10 years, and PTCG Live has been in development for 5. So if you say that this is where the project is at after 5 years, where do you expect it to be in 5 more years? It's like, yeah. So it's not going to be easy. I think the thing is that I want to move more into tabletop content. I do, and it's going to change the you know, it's going to change the landscape of the channel, and that's got me really nervous, and it's got me really anxious. But, like, I know it's a challenge that we can rise to. I know it is. But even, like, I came home from streaming yesterday, and I was like, dang. Like, I streamed yesterday, and then I spent more time working on, like, my tabletop stage that I have, like, right beyond this camera. I'm working on a new tabletop stage for League. So I'm like, I put more time into that. But, like, I came home from streaming PTCGL yesterday, and I was like, it just is sad. Because it's like, there's no future in this. So, you know, it feels like you're at a job that's, like, ending. Is kind of what it feels like. It's like you're going to work at a job, but your job is ending at the end of the month. So it's like, there's a lot of, and you think about like we did so much like over the course of the pandemic, you know, Standard wasn't giving us enough content really to work with, so we invented a new format, Gym Leader Challenge, and like that was amazing, right? But like you can't even do Gym Leader Challenge on the new client. New client. So that's fine. But we got tabletop. Now Fiasco says I'm being a pessimist. Well, Fiasco. Would you put your career on the line for something that's liked about this much? Would you? Would you do that? Because that's not the kind of thing that I'm going to do. Nothing's guaranteed for me. Right? Nothing's guaranteed. I have to, you know, I have to be honest with it. And it's like, if this is the perception, of the client that is coming, like, are you willing to put it all on the line for that? No, I don't want to do that. It's not just me, it's just what it is. So it's like, you know, if you have to get to work every day, so yes, so Fiasco, what I'm saying is that being realistic and pragmatic, this game's been in development for 5 years. So like, so how long do you think from now, realistically, based on what we've seen, based on the trajectory of the game in the last 12 months that we've seen it, how long do you think before it becomes like a nice, good client? Based on the fact that we know, you know what I'm saying? Based on the fact that we know it's been in development since Lost Thunder, and based on the fact that we've seen it being developed for 12 months. I don't know. Plus, I would argue that this is not fine. Plus, this is not fine for the Pokemon Company. This is not. This is like the most... find me another Pokemon game with reviews like this. This is not fine, actually. It might be fine for maybe, you know, some people personally on their cell phone. But no. Let's look at Scarlet and Violet. $72. All right, the users. That's a review bomb right there, I think. But 72. And this game was like really, kind of dragged by a lot of people. So, and well, there's also, I also am not, frankly, I'm also not putting my career in the hands on, Scarlet and Violet. That's not the face of this channel either, frankly. Yeah, frankly, I'm not streaming Scarlet and Violet, am I? But the thing I do believe in is the design of the Pokemon cards themselves. So, and I love the design of the Pokemon cards. That's what we're here for. We're here for the cards. So, what I want on this channel, and what we've, listen, this might not be an existential crisis for you guys, but it is for me. So, welcome to the stream. You might want me to be quiet and play game, but guess what? There's only about a month left of be quiet and play game. So, you might not have to figure out where I'm going to need to go in 6 weeks, but I do. It's a lot to think about. Victor, thank you so much for those 10 gifts, Victor Natty. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Let's get some hype going for Victor Natty. 310 total gifted subs to the channel. Appreciate you. No, coaching ain't it. Not for me. Coaching, because my goal, all right, so like you gotta like step back, and when you get to this like kind of existential point, it's like, all right, you get to this crossroads and you need to think, all right, where's the channel gonna go? What am I trying to do as a content creator? What are my goals as a content creator? And my goals have never been to like make the most amount of money possible or like become the most viewed Twitch streamer ever. That's why I don't just like hop to other games and stuff, right? Because I love Pokemon cards. I'm passionate about this community. I'm passionate about this game, and I'm invested. So this is where I want to be. And Pokemon cards have played such a key role in my life, and Pokemon cards allowed me to meet some of my best friends, allowed me to meet my wife, allowed me to make a career. I mean, so I am so thankful for what Pokemon cards have brought to my life that I want to provide that kind of experience for other people around the world. I want other people to form meaningful friendships, lifelong bonds with others around the world through Pokemon cards. That's like our channel's mission statement. If there is one, that's the channel's mission statement. Thank you, Miko, for that tier 3 sub and the 34 months. I appreciate you, Miko. Thank you. So, Patreon ain't it, Swizzerton. Not for me. Well, because so community building is a big part of what we do here. We've got a Discord with over 10,000 members. I mean, there are people who have, through the channel, like Heather, one of our mods, works here at Full Grip now, which is awesome. I mean, it's just these kinds of like meaningful lifelong bonds and friendships are being formed, like literally because of this channel. Like that's the goal. So, platforms like Discord, Twitch, YouTube are going to be, kind of the primary platforms that we use, because they allow me to, to share with the most amount of people. So yeah. I've been sitting here thinking about things we've obviously we're building a tournament hall here at Full Grip Games. So that's going to be a thing that happens this year, and it's going to enable us to have like some really nicely produced league stuff, which I'm excited about. That's 2 days a week. I could hire probably another person, or, I just got to figure out a schedule is what it comes down to. I got to figure out a schedule. I got to figure out, basically co-creators that I can co-creators that I can depend on a weekly basis to do tabletop content. So that's kind of like probably where we're heading. I could get into one stream a week could be like a podcast type stream. That's something that I could do. I thought about that. Like, imagine one stream a week is like a podcast. And we got JW and Riley do tag team podcast. We got Chip and Azul do the Uncommon Energy podcast. Like, I could definitely do something like that. I certainly got enough to talk about. That's for sure. I could get a nice like couch set up. That's kind of what I'm saying. A whole morning show segment, but like that's the stream. And it's not just me. I got someone else to bounce ideas off of, right? So that's something that I've thought about. I mean, I could go but there's already like 2 really good. There we go. All right, JR is just going to move to Akron. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, got to have that Wayne's World vibe to it. That's what I'm saying. But there are already a lot of Pokemon podcasts, so I don't know that I would do it. There are. So then what if I buy one out? I thought about that. What if I just like absorb one? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make it my own. Make it more like a morning show. Right. Well, I agree. I don't I don't want to like get into a podcast. Well, it'll never be a podcast. It would always be, there's always going to be video. And I wouldn't even want to like advertise it as a podcast. I would advertise it as like a morning show. I certainly think it's possible for me to do a weekly morning show. Yeah. That's certainly doable. And we say like, you know, setting things up and sitting it and saying like this is going to happen every week. I mean, that's obviously like, it's a big commitment. But that's something to think about. So it's like you could do like a morning show, and there's a whole bunch of things. All my friends have jobs. That's like, that's the big barrier that you get into, is that everybody works. So when are they, you know? It's like you just be like, yeah, you got an extra 2-3 hours, so-and-so morning. Most people don't. Now, I know, people work, and that's cool. Make it an evening show. We could. I am going to be featuring on Tag Team Podcast this week, by the way. Isn't that fun? And I'm not going to say that I'll never, ever, ever play live, but like it's pretty much going to be like that. As it is right now, I don't really see myself, like the landscape of this channel, I mean it, I really want it to change. And that's got me incredibly nervous, because I'm not just going to take what I'm doing right now and just plop live into it. I'm not. Because I think like, I've said it a million times why I'm not going to do that, so I'm not going to rehash it. But it is an opportunity to maybe push the content forward instead of taking a step backwards. And I think we can all agree that live is a step backwards. So rather than take a step backwards, we're going to push forward to something even better than what we do right now. Right? I have to think about it. I mean, I certainly could take the easiest thing to do would be to just replace, to change absolutely nothing and just replace PTCGL with live. But that's not what I'm going to do. Exactly, Fights Crime. Exactly. On a scale of 1 to 10, how tricky is this gym? It's 11. Well, I think that we can still do fun. Yeah, thank you so much, Kyle, for that gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. 15 total gifts. Slaughterhome says, I'm ready at any point for my wit and charm on a podcast. Tricky Home or Slaughter Gym, I'll give you the choice. So all right, so it's honestly, it's been stressing me out of my skull trying to figure out what the future of the channel is going to be. But it's kind of a good kind of stress, because it's stressful because it's forcing me to change and think a lot and to go somewhere I haven't gone before. But that's okay. I have faith that it's going to be okay. I trust that it's going to be okay. And I know we can create something even better than what we do right now. I'm confident in that. So if we look at, frankly, you know, I think like my PTCGO gameplay videos, they're fun. And I know a lot of people love those. But like, sometimes it just feels like I'm just doing the same thing like all the time, which is exactly what I'm doing, just the same thing. You know, which there's comfort in that. But I am just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And so like, as someone who's a creative person, that's not what I want to do. So I'd like to vary it up. That's what all of us normal employees do. Well, I still pushed the envelope, even though like I've got my bread and butter, like PTCGO gameplays that just pay the bills, right? And then we'd sprinkle in an opening here and there, which are always fun to do. Sprinkle in a set review. And I could still do set reviews. We still do set reviews, but what if they were like that's kind of like a, you know, maybe the morning show segment is a set review. You know? You know, obviously it's like some of the morning show segments, some of the content that would be described as like a morning show does kind of transcend into, you know, its own video. Like the set reviews are kind of like a morning show segment that becomes its own video. This video here about live is kind of like a morning show segment that transcended into its own video. See, that's what I'm saying, Zeno. The gameplay typically would get people in the door. But like, the content can be more than that. The pre-release stuff, that's really special. Like, talking about pre-release, you know, pre-release, these kinds of, like, this content, to me, this content's like the special content that we produce. Like, this is cool, man. This ain't nobody else on Twitch doing this. Ain't nobody else on YouTube doing this. So, like, this kind of stuff, when, like, the set comes out, we're doing a midnight pre-release, that kind of stuff, with, like, the various camera angles. Like, this is the dope stuff. This is the stuff that nobody else does. So in my mind, that's the stuff that makes the channel special. Not necessarily Silly Deck. Though Silly Deck, Yeah, we're just talking existentially about the future of the channel, Brandon. I think you'll appreciate what we've been talking about for sure. Talking about the future. But then so I think what's got me the most nervous and kind of like sad is that I mean, PTCGO kind of allows me to just go live with no plan for like 6 to 8 hours. like some days. Some days I stream shorter, it's more like a 3-hour stream. But like what PTCGO allows me to do is just go live with no plan and just and create content on the fly. So part of what's got me very stressed out is that with that gone, things have to be more intentional. So it's just going to require more planning. Or else I'll just fall into, if I don't make a conscious plan, I will just fall into just doing exactly what I'm doing, but leaning on live. And I don't want to do that. Because it could negatively impact the vibes of the channel if I'm just like ranting and complaining about a client that I don't believe in for hours a day. So, like, you could tell me to just, like, you know, kind of shut up and get over it, but that's just not, why? You know, it's not being true to myself. It's not being true to my vision for the channel. It's not, I don't even think it's being fair to you guys, because I think you guys deserve better. So, what's up, pretty? How you doing? The PTCGO vids being very approachable when I just started playing. Well, that's what I think a lot of people have that experience, that the Pokemon trading card game online videos are approachable and easy enough to follow. Right? That's what Kyle's been sub 45 months and he doesn't even play the game. Doesn't even play. That's so sick. Does anybody that's here right now not even really play Pokemon cards? Because Kyle doesn't. Well, Kyle's here for vibes only, so I appreciate that. Trey says me for real. Not since 2018. I thought about, Garrulous. I'm not going to lie. I have definitely thought about, like, Nuzlocke Day or whatever. I mean, Pumpkin Amy does that. Pumpkin Amy does some really cool. I really, really like what Amy does on her channel. I mean, she does a lot of cool. It's all like Pokemon centric, but Amy does PTCGO stuff. Amy does art. Amy does Nuzlocks. Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Sick Nasty, for the sub and the 30 months. Well, see, so Kyle is kind of like got to the point that I am like got to the point, and one of the things that's got me so nervous is it is right now, I can kind of just push go live. And with PTCGO as like a crutch and a backbone, I can kind of just go live and have PTCGO is like an unlimited content generator, is basically what it is. It's an unlimited free content generator. When I first started making content with Darium, he was like envious of my content because he's like, dang, your content don't even cost any money. It doesn't require any planning or anything. It doesn't have any overhead. You just have PTCGO as just a content generator. And he kind of saw that for what it was when I was first getting started. He's like, dang, you could build a whole career off that because the overhead is zero and you can just, yeah. So now we're getting into a, wow. So now, when you take away that zero overhead, content generation machine, but another big thing that you kind of need to think about, another big thing is that there is no expanded or gym leader challenge on live. And frankly, standard barely works. So, like, we were so miserable in the middle of ADP format. We were so miserable that we created a new format to play. Gym leader, we literally created Gym Leader Challenge because we needed something else to do. So we were able to do that on the infinite content machine that is PTCGO. That could change. What if they implement older cards at the end of the month? All right, so Senpai, we've seen the development of the Pokemon trading card game live for 12 months, and it has been in development for 5 years. So what makes you think that all them old cards are going to come back and start working by the end of the month? What makes you think that? Yeah. Yeah. So let's just say I'm not holding my breath. I'm not going to hold my breath for live to just start magically being awesome. All right? I'm not going to hold my breath for that. So as it is right now, and frankly, lately, I know I keep doing this. Lately, the content has been, my content that I've been creating has been pretty just freeform at this point on Twitch. At this point, I kind of just press live. I have no plan for the day. I just do whatever I want to do. And eventually, sometimes I stumble upon a video and I upload it. My video upload schedule has been pretty sporadic and inconsistent. And I don't really care. Frankly, I just don't care. I'm just whatever, we'll do a video or two, maybe 3 a week. I'm not going to make a video unless I really feel like it. And I'm certainly not going to put out a video if it's going to be bad. I have a quality control. I have quality control on my videos where I'm it has to be at least a certain amount interesting or a certain amount good. or I'm not going to make that video. You know? So at this point, my video upload schedule has been pretty sporadic and pretty irregular. Especially as I've been traveling to regional championships. Now, I could get, with tabletop content, you know, you look at other tabletop content creators like Tier 4. Like, Tier 4 doesn't, they don't stream. They just produce tabletop content. Right. It's exactly what they do. They just create the tabletop content for YouTube, and that's it. Because it takes a lot of work and production to do that. Now, what I'm thinking might need to happen is some sort of like seismic shift in the way that I produce content. Because right now, my YouTube channel, the way I break up an 8 to 12 hour day, right? Well, Kichi, that's a good question. Can I make a living off of tabletop content? I believe that I can. Because I just have to do content that's interesting on tabletop, and I have to produce it in a way. I believe that I can produce tabletop content in a way that is more engaging than my PTCGO content. I believe that I can do that. You know, if you go back, well, Lugia V-Star, when it came out, let's see. You know, if you're creating content that people are interested to see, this Lugia video has got 43,000 views. Deck building content, 100%. Like, we can create this content in a way that's easy to digest and is engaging. I mean, this is a lot of views for me for a tabletop video, and it's because people are interested. It's, you know, people are interested in seeing Lugia when it first came out. There's some things that are a little bit easier about making a silly deck in paper, because sometimes one of the tough things about making a silly deck is that you keep getting paired against matchups that you don't want to see, because you have like a rogue deck and it's meant to beat one kind of strategy. So like with tabletop content, you can kind of stage stuff where you get to present a deck, or like a silly deck or a silly idea, beating the deck that it's supposed to beat. So that's, you know. The thing is that the content that performs the worst on YouTube is competitive content. For the most part. Competitive players, like your real tournament grinder, sweaty competitive players, are not, for the most part, you know, digesting YouTube video content. And it has a short shelf life. You know how many people I got that are still watching that Kyogre video? Like, bro, that Kyogre video, wherever it is still getting views. I forgot when I did that, but yeah, this video is still getting views. My first video to reach over 200,000, and it's a year old. It's because it's funny, right? That's probably the funniest video I'll ever make, to be fair. So, if you find a competitive deck video 2 months late that's already countered and gone, well, that's the thing. Like, your Giratina, you know, V-Star content really fell off. Your Palkia V-Star content really fell off. Vlogs and stuff is true, JR. Could do that. Celio has been making some really inspired content lately. But I can't see myself going the way, and he doesn't stream. So he's just focusing on YouTube content. So that's the thing, is like, the way that I have the channel built right now is that I was talking about this earlier and I got distracted. I do like I work 8 to 12 hours a day. Like 8 to sometimes 14 hours a day. That's how much I work. So on days where however long I decide to stream, then I have the rest of the day to edit video, brainstorm, work on my studio, make thumbnail, plan for tabletop, whatever else I'm doing. So if I stream for like 5 hours, then I can't conceivably, it takes me like probably 6 hours to film, or not to film, to edit like a good tabletop video or something like that. It only takes me about, if I stop streaming at 3 p.m., I know that in 2 hours, I can crank out the thumbnail, the video editing, and I can film the full grip ad, the intro, the deck profile, slap it all together, ship it, and I'm out the door by 5, right? So I can do that. I've got that down to a science. I know at 3, I'm pushing it. 2 hours is like, it's crunch time if I'm trying to get out the door by 5. If I give myself 2 hours. So I give myself 3 hours, that's right on the money. 3 hours to like film the intro, outro, the full grip ad, the deck profile, the thumbnail, edit it all together. So that's been just like kind of the day in, day out vibes of the channel right now. Is I'll stream for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll spend like a few hours producing a video. Or I'll stream for longer if I know that I'm not going to be able to make a YouTube video that day. I'll just like be like, whatever, there's no YouTube video happening today. I'll just go for like 6 hours and then try to plan and, do some other stuff, other useful stuff, plan for things. So as it is right now, like with the effort that I put in to YouTube, which is frankly way less effort than I put into Twitch. I put in way more effort to Twitch than I do to YouTube right now. And like I just told you, I might spend 5 hours a day on Twitch, and I only spend, at maximum 3 hours a day on YouTube, except for when I edit a tabletop video, then it's like much more. And with that division of my time, I'm only able to release maybe 2 YouTube videos a week, and YouTube and Twitch are still making the same amount of money. So like they both, I'd say in the Tricky Gym finance sphere, because we're talking about how am I going to continue. When we get to the Tricky Gym finance sphere, it's like a little more than a third of my revenue comes from my Full Grip Games partnership. And then like slightly less than a third comes from YouTube and Twitch. But for all intents and purposes, let's just say that it's a third apiece. I get about a third from Full Grip, about a third from YouTube, and about a third from Twitch. That's the Tricky Gym finance sphere right there. So, and I invest the most amount of time into Twitch. The Pokemon company, that's like, it's a variable, right? The work that I get from TPCI is variable. So it's like, that's like, I don't factor the work that I get in from TPCI into like how I pay for my bills, because that's variable, and just like it's bonus money. Whenever they hit me up, cool. But if they don't hit me up, I still need to be able to like make a living, right? So it's just, that's bonus money, funny money. I don't depend on that to make a living. I depend on Twitch, I depend on YouTube, and I depend on Full Grip Games. So yeah, so with tabletop content, things like right now, I like just going live and doing whatever. I find that I have a lot of fun when I kind of do the just scroll through Twitter and talk about stuff. That's some of my favorite content that I produce now, frankly. So that kind of stuff is fun to me. Because to be honest, I only got so many hours of just like, play on PTCGL a day. Well, especially in like a format like this. It's like, I don't want to just, am I going to just go grind the ladder right now? Like, no, I'm probably not going to go just grind the ladder right now. The PTCGO vids are newcomer friendly, but live is much less well received than PTCGO. And I think that live is very not newcomer friendly. So, and I believe that it is possible for me to create, let's see, Pokemon. It's like Pokemon trading card game online is like 4 out of 5. 4.6. It's got 3.8 on Google Play, but better. But the thing is that I'm not a PTCGO defender. I'm not a PTCGO apologist. This client was pretty mid the whole time. It was not like it was never set up for like true success. It was started as a browser game. It was good enough. Nobody's saying that PTCGO was this glorious, incredible client. It just got the job done. So to go from something that just got the job done to something that is not, is like really, really makes me want to tear my eyes out. But that's fine. So, yeah, like I said, right now, it's like a third of my revenue comes from Twitch, a third of it comes from YouTube, and a third of it comes from Full Grip. And that's how I'm able to make a living. So, it's really nice because I don't have, if a ship sinks, if YouTube were to go bye-bye for some reason, I can still like get by. If Twitch were to go bye-bye for some reason, I could still get by. So a tougher question, a tougher question to answer is if PTCGO goes bye-bye. It is admittedly a tougher question to answer. However, I did. You could see as a content creator, you have to be flexible, and you have to be able to pivot. You know, I've been working on my other content. Now, it's kind of sad looking at my popular videos because they're all PTCGO videos, except for that one. But I do create non-PTCGO videos. Like this one is just a news video. Obviously, it's big news, but it is a news video. This one's tabletop. This one's, opening. And, there's some tabletop, opening, set reviews. There's things sprinkled in that are not PTCGO. So it's possible for me to create non-PTCGO content. I've been doing this. But PTCGO is just like basically a free content generator, and it made my job very easy in a lot of ways. So my job might get less easy. Way less easy in the months to come. Now, things that we can do, because I don't think it's just going to be like a boot up live and vibe kind of. I don't really see myself doing that. I'm not even interested enough in playing standard every day to want to just boot up live and vibe, Frankly, say live's all we had right now. Would I want to just like boot up live and do that every day? Like, probably not. Because some days I want to play Gym Leader Challenge. Some days, I want to do that. I used to want to play Expanded, but Expanded kind of. So the landscape shading, we still got 2 months and a week. Yep. That's a lot of time. It is a lot of time for me to, thankfully, it's a lot of time for me to really think about this and get a game plan going. I really like the content that Celio has been producing lately. He's been kind of on this video essay kick, which has been like pretty cool. I don't really see this as like, I'm not going to just replicate that. I don't see this as the future for my content personally. I did try my hand at some video essays a while back. I'm confident that I could do video essays that I'm really proud of. But video essays, if I'm going to like really like put that much effort into creating a video, as much effort as a video essay takes, I just would rather do tabletop content personally. So like I already have all the gear and everything I need to create tabletop content. So if I'm going to work that hard, I'm going to do tabletop content. Why? Because I hate writing scripts. So I'm not going to do it. I hate writing scripts. Maybe I'll sprinkle in a video essay every once in a while. But then there's also the thing about video essays is that I've been leaning into the live content more lately. And video essays, you can't do live. So I think that's part of the reason I haven't been doing them. Almost everything that I do, everything that I create lately, I have figured out how to just do it live. And part of that is so, it's like the live content is, it fits my personality better. That I don't have to sit down and plan and I can just push the button and let's go. We'll figure it out as we go. Right. And I've kind of like built this channel into a space where that's kind of like how things are. Now I can do tabletop days. I just have to plan for them. And you would be astonished at how long it takes to like the physicality of building the decks, tearing them apart, putting them together, organizing the cards. That is like a very big factor when it comes to creating tabletop content. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Now, thankfully, thinking about the direction of the channel and how and how it's going to go, thankfully, I've got 2 days a week where the content comes to me. I do. We hold League here at Full Grip Games on Wednesday and Thursday nights. That's 2 days a week. That content's coming my way. All I have to do is just present it. So that's something that I can totally do. It's something I've done before. It's something that we can go towards. I could do player interviews. I can sit down. We could talk about decks. We could talk about card choices. We could talk about matchups. I mean, there's so much we can do. I'm amped about that. And we have good attendance at our leagues as well. We've been having between like 15 and 20 people show up for Standard and Gym Leader Challenge on Wednesday and Thursday nights. So so that's really cool. And we're going to get back. Well, now that COVID's over, baby. Now that, now that we're beyond that. More, you know what I'm saying. Where's my trucker hat? Yeah. Now we got League back and all that. So that content now is here. And Full Grip is investing into a huge tournament hall and a tournament stage where I'll be able to produce feature match content. I mean, that's got me real amped up. Now, it's going to take a little while to get to, but I've got a temporary makeshift stage that I'm going to be using. It's the same one that I ended up using for this literally when I filmed these guys playing the other night, Will and John. I was really happy with how that. This is like a beta version of what I plan to produce with League. That's like this was like the trial run just to kind of see, all right, what's it feel like to do this? And I think that it has the potential to be successful. So I'm excited about it. So that's 2 nights a week. 1 day a week, I could do some sort of morning show. I could do some sort of morning show, podcast style, talk about things, regional recap stuff. I mean, that's all stuff I could do. Now, I'm not exactly sure that I'll produce that into, I think that'll just be VOD channel stuff. I'm not gonna cut it up into like YouTube unless it's like a set review or something. We'll do set reviews, obviously. But I think I just need to be okay with like 1 day a week. 1 day a week, we're just gonna talk about stuff. We're just gonna do reaction content. We're gonna pull up stream games. We could talk about those. That kind of stuff. I can bring on guests. That would be cool. I should start thinking about that. I could bring on guests via, I don't know, how do you get people's audio into the stream? I'll figure that out. I can bring on guests, people who did well at regionals. We could talk about stuff. And that stuff, that could be really cool. Discord works. Yeah, we just use Discord. So that could be part of the morning show. Is I could... And morning show, let's see. So Will's days off, because then we got Will, young Willie. Willie is kind of perfect because he's perpetually available on the same days. Yeah, Will Mantho. Yeah, he's our Will is our retro expert. Hex Maniac, are you trying to say that you are a viewer who is only interested in gameplay? Now, Will is perfect because Will lives less than 5 minutes from the shop, and Will works weekends, so he's off Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you ask, most 22-year-olds what they're doing at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday, is usually nothing. So Will's usually available. And if I start paying him right, then I think that we could get him over here. So we could have a regular tabletop feature with Will that I could plan to be a weekly segment. And we could talk about retro decks, we could play retro decks, all that. So I really like that. That's really cool. And then, I'm not opposed to potentially streaming one day of live a week, maybe for less than 3 hours, I would say. But gone are the days of me spending, I'm saying maybe one day a week, less than 3 hours. That's kind of my live tolerance. Yeah, microdosing live. Yeah, and I pretty much will not be making YouTube videos out of it. But just to go live, a little couple hours alive until my brain starts to hurt, and then we turn it off. But we can't let that be the face of the channel. And also, there's only so much ladder grinding and standard that I'm going to want to do a week. But I do think that there will be... some sort of... Would you want to start off your week on a Monday with the worst thing? Is that what you want to do? On Monday, would you want to wake up, come to the office, and you're like, ugh, live. So I've been thinking about this quite a bit. It might... Right now I stream 5 days a week. And that's I'm happy streaming 5 days a week. But I have to look at my schedule and see what it's going to be, what's realistic for me to edit YouTube videos and things like that. Because I am going to be focusing on editing my tabletop content to be like top tier. Yeah, I'm sure, PJ. I know. I get it. My whole career is changing right now. So Wednesday and Thursday we have League here at Full Grip. I think I like recording League and then playing it back for you in the morning. I think I like that better than producing it live on Wednesday and Thursday nights. But what do you guys think? Now, obviously, it's going to be a little biased because y'all are here in the morning. So this is probably when you're available. But, so yeah, what I've been doing, like what I did with this video here, is I recorded League and then I played it back for stream after the fact. So he'll attach a fire energy to Dratini and pass it over to John. John has got Mysterious Treasure in his opening hand and will play it to discard a psychic energy and search his deck for a psychic Pokemon. Off of the Mysterious Treasure, John will grab Wubf. Now, obviously, I can work on my presentation of this a little bit, but you know, this was pretty nice. Being able to do it in post, it gives me stream content, so I get to do part of my workflow for producing the tabletop content I can do while live, because then it also gives us an opportunity as a community to kind of just break down the matches and talk about them, which is also fun, and I can add some of that into the mix. I don't know, let's pull. Well, Sella Travis, I'm right there with you. I want to get a steady cam. All right, so my dream, part of what I got cooked up is I need to get a steady cam, and I want to be able to film. If I could just like not only duplicate but like triplicate myself, then I could have me producing while also me calling the shots, while also me filming. That's cool, Q-Dog. Thanks for sharing. While also me producing and me filming. So, like, I could have a mobile camera where I'm going around and getting different, like, points of interest, different shots, getting facial expressions, getting reactions, getting hand shots, things like that. Now, that's all possible. I could do that. I just need to, it requires some, it's all expensive. I could do it, and I'm certainly thinking about it. I do think that with with PTCGL going down, it gives it's like I have an opportunity to really invest into the tabletop, the English-speaking tabletop experience. You know, there already is in Japan. It's the most popular way to view Pokemon TCG content by far. And in Japan, they don't even support the online clients whatsoever. This is just what they do. And Tier 4 Now the thing is, Tier 4 is able to crank out like daily uploads because they don't stream. They just focus on the content. So the thing is, like I said before, my career is made up like 1/3 of the stream, 1/3 of YouTube, and 1/3 of full grip games. So I can't necessarily. Yo, Heather says that we could actually create content out of having her grade 200 Acrobike League promos. Now that's something we didn't think about. I've definitely been like opting for a little bit of a minimalist approach to my tabletop content, but I can do more. I'm not going to say that I'm going to have as many bells and whistles kind of flying around the table as they got here on Tier 4. I'm also not going to say that I'm going to change my camera view to a non-top-down camera, because I don't think that I will. But I can still do more. So I think that, we're always looking at ways to improve and progress. I do like the HP counters. I think that that's nice. It gives you... I don't like that they don't use dice. I think that those are actually very hard to read. Like they're seeing... But they do have the HP counters to make up for it. So, yeah. I think that, frankly, here on... I feel like we have the unique potential to really take English-speaking tabletop Pokemon trading card game content to the next level. Right now, it's kind of like in its infancy, really. But I think that we could create something really special here. Like I said, 2 days a week, I got people who show up to Full Grip to play in tournaments. That's all we really need. So that's good. Then I can hire someone to play with me another 1 to 2 days a week. That's 4 days a week. Then I can do like a morning show 1 day a week where we just talk about stuff. Maybe we do... I've never seen these guys. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've never seen this before. Cool. Where'd it go? Subbed. Can someone explain to me what's going on here? Also, what is the name of this channel? And why is it blurred out? Can I just say, I love graphic design in Japan. This is like a very, very Japanese style graphic design. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's such a different design philosophy than what we do in the, in the West. It's so much different. Everything is so busy. It's definitely maximalist. It's like, I'm sure there is a long study on why it's so maximalist. Andrew, do you have any like idea or any kind of information on us or why it kind of developed this way? I'm sure it's like a long story, but See, Kyle, same logo, 3 different sizes. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's so wild. You know, from like a Western perspective, I just don't do things like that. But it's kind of sick. Cool. What's going on here? What's that?
Pokemon で千里といえばこれしかないよね。海ディグだ。はい。の進化系の海トリオ。下の技が海掘りトンネル。コインを3回投げて
See, this is sick. This is sick though, all right? Now this they've got right. This is fantastic. The deck explanation. All right, they speed things up. Oh, their sleeves. Okay. Got it, showing off their sleeves. Okay. Now, this is interesting. You can't see on this tabletop production, you can't see the prizes, you can't see the deck, and you can't see the discard pile. This is literally the cropped, zoomed in view that we were talking about, like the other day on stream. But the problem is that you can't see discard or prizes. So I guess like these are the prizes, but you can't see the discard pile, which I guess is okay. You also can't see the deck. And the viewer doesn't really need to see the discard pile. I guess I agree with that.
ベンチにラルトスとラルトス出します。手札5枚で番を割ります。1枚いきます。ドロー。海ディグダを海トリオに進化。チェリンボをチェリムに進化。手札の草エネルギーを海トリオにつけて、チェリム、ハルランマ。手札の草エネルギーを。
I like that. This looks really nice. This looks really clean. We can do this. See?
ベンチの海ディグダにつけます。空振り保険を海トリオに。
And guess what? This is a silly deck. They're showing off silly deck. It doesn't have to be serious deck all the time. In fact, tabletop is sometimes a better environment for showing off silly deck. Knife Laugh Loved, I used it like once or twice and decided that it was actually too busy. It like... I don't think it like it actually makes my content better, but yeah.
ではどう使いましょう。海掘りトンネル。コインを3回投げて表の数かける3枚分相手の山札を上からトラッシュします。1回目、ほう。表、2回目、ほう。表、3回目、ほう。裏、2表出たので6枚トラッシュしてください。一気に6枚か。6枚トラッシュ。おー、まあ。そして盤の終わりに空振り保険の効果。このカードをつけてるポケモンが技を使った時、技のダメージや効果でコインを投げて裏が出たなら自分の盤の終わりに山札を3枚引ける。空振りホップだ。
Yeah, we can start flipping coins, Jesse. That's fine.
手札3枚でターン終了。
You guys want to flip coins?
なるほどね。ラウトスをキルリアに進化。
Oh, I definitely will need to spend a lot more time editing tabletop videos, and I may need to hire an editor. I'm probably going to edit some of the videos myself, but I can't edit all of them. So, yep. And it just is what it is. That'll be part of it.
手札の超エネルギーをディアンシーにつけます。セーナ使います。手札を2枚トラッシュして残り手札が1枚5枚になるように4枚引きます。ラウトスをキルリアに進化。キルリア特性ディファイン。手札1枚トラッシュして2枚。
I could have entire stream days where I just watch these guys. It's like, why make the tabletop content myself? Part of me feels like that's not. I mean, I know that reaction content is a thing, but it's part of me still feels guilty because it's not my content. It's their content. I am supporting their content by, I guess, advertising it to a whole bunch of English speaking people, but I shouldn't make a regular thing out of just reusing other people's content. Though I know there's content creators that that's just what they do. Anyways, let's continue watching. I kind of want to see if this Wug Trio deck has got it.
トラッシュからベンチに出してダメ感が3個乗ります。ダメージポンプ。ゲンガーのダメ感2個を1個はディアンシーへ。1個は
Do you think the Wug Trio deck's gonna win?
ディアンシーエネルギーを1個トラッシュして逃げます。スイーズラーク V スターを前に。
I bet you the Wug Trio deck does win.
ダメ感の手ポケモンは3匹なので150ダメージ。そこからダブルタウンマイナス20、130ダメージ。
You gotta be. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are you telling me that Zorak didn't get the knockout, bro? That Zorak definitely got the knockout.
手札4枚番終わります。
1枚いきます。ドロー。ベンチに海ディグダ出します。進化。ダブルターボエネルギーを海トリオにつけます。そして赤スの研究。手札ないので7枚引いていく。レベルボールを使いましょう。チェリンボ持ってきます。お願いします。チェリンボを置きます。レスキューキャリー。海ディグダと海トリオ。この2枚を手札に戻します。どっちも HP90 からですね。
偉いな。
海ディグダ。で、春ランマン使って手札の草エネルギー
Oh
を
yeah,
海
dude.
トリオにつけます。
This Zorak guy is getting bodied.
3回目。裏。
Well, that was exciting.
6枚やっぱやばいな。
You get to, they zoom in on the coin.
あ、ボスの尻が。
よしよしよし。
なんてこったい。
手札5枚でターン終了だ。
1枚引きます。ドロー。
今回保険がないからな。捨て身の海掘り飛んでる。
なるほどな。ベンチのキルリアをエルリドに進化。これで技を使います。ノリオキダム150からマイナス130ダメージ。海というが気絶。最後1枚ゲット。
海ディグダを前に。
手札5枚番終わります。
1枚いきます。ドロー。海トリオに進化。エネルギー回収。トラッシュの草エネルギーを2枚手札に戻します。で、春ランマン使って。
Well, the funny thing about, okay. The funny thing about not producing the content live is that you can. There's so much cutting happening here, is that for all you know, they just stack the deck to make it work. You know? Why waste time playing 10 games to get the deck to work? I'm just saying. Listen. I'm just saying, bro. This could be completely just worked. Yup. Does it matter? No. Well, no, we do all our content live, so you know it's not staged. But that's the only way that you know it's not staged, is because we're doing it live. So, like, there's one of two things. Laundromat says there's a Digimon YouTuber who stacks their decks for videos like this to show off great matches and potential of each deck. Well, now we're talking about integrity. Yeah. Now we're talking about integrity. Yeah. And now I'm thinking about Randy and integrity. Cuz here's the deal. All right. I get it because and I'm not saying that they cuz there's two ways. There's either two ways that this I have to look at it from a content creator's perspective, right? From a content creator's perspective, either you sit down and you play like maybe 10 games and then you pick the good one, right? Or maybe you play like 5 games and you pick the good one, or you just make sure that the one you do play is a good one, right? And it's like from a content creator's perspective, it's like they probably want to make sure that the game they play is a good one. It starts out as like you open your opening hand and you're like, it's not a good one. Let's not play this game. We'll do another one, right? Then it starts into, let me get like, let me make sure that my opening hand has like a Cherubi and like a Wiglet and like a research, right? And I researched into, so I'm not saying that it's necessarily like that, but when you're creating non-live tabletop content, it certainly could be like that. And now what I'm saying is that there's no way to know either. And there's something nice about playing on PTCGO and playing tabletop content live because y'all get to see it. Y'all get to see everything, right? And if anybody's ever like, well, that deck's not very good, you could just point to the live games for like, these are the games I played with it or whatever, This is just, you want to go see it. This is what we did. So so say if you knew this content was staged, would it affect your opinion of it? I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying if it was. I'll do a poll. It's an interesting question. I think it would very much affect my opinion of it. Because if the content's staged, then you're like, I don't know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Ionios, I'm in the same exact boat. It's 100% a deal breaker for me. It's different. That's what I'm saying. It's a different beast to choose the best games. That's just showing the highlights, and then to create boards that didn't happen. It's different. Because then it's like reality TV. Yeah. Where you're presenting it as one thing, but it's really another. It's that that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you're like, wow, this deck is crazy, but it's staged, then that's just integrity, Brandon. Integrity. Integrity. It all comes down to integrity. Yep. You're presenting it as showing something that did happen, not something that could happen. I would also feel dirty. Yes. I would feel like a liar. You're presenting it as something that did happen, not something that could happen, and that difference is big. Yes. That's what I'm saying, Bob. Yep, stage feels like lying. That's what I'm saying. Well, Brandon, I can always point to the VOD channel, which I do. And I say, if you want to, I always present my YouTube videos as the highlights. It's a highlight reel. There's nothing dishonest about a highlight reel. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's on the VOD channel. There's nothing dishonest about that. Should a football player who's trying to get drafted, should they include all of their dropped passes in their highlight reel because it's more honest? No. You're putting out your highlight reel. But if you ever want to watch me do everything, then you can tune in live where I do it all right in front of you, or you could watch the VOD channel where I do it all. Highlight content is different from stacking to make content. 100%. Yes. 100%. Everybody loves highlight content. You want to see the thing doing its best, right? This is even Brandon, this is even, you're getting down to even people do this in testing. Like, people will be like, oh, well, let me just start off with a good hand because we could just save time. No. Like, we're testing for a tournament, but let me take this out of my prize. That's a classic one. Jesse. I prize this thing, but let me grab it real quick, right? Because in a game, I wouldn't prize it, right? Or in a tournament, I wouldn't prize it. taking back misplays on tabletop is fine because it's a learning experience for everybody there. So if you say, like, it would be better if we took this route, so yeah, let's do that. It's a collaborative experience. That's so much different. That's a collaborative experience talking about a routing, and everybody watching gets to learn from it, including us at the table. And we do that in testing all the time, and you should. Both players, when you're testing for a regional championship, both players should be making sure that both players are making the best play possible. The goal shouldn't be about just winning at all costs. It should be about making sure that both players are making the optimal plays. Yeah. Taking back misplays is good for everybody involved. That's not staging. Yes. That's not staging. That's just good testing practices. Well, I would argue that if things are not staged, then the hits are much more gratifying and the whiffs are more crushing. It's all part of it. That's what makes the content, what makes the content beat. It's what gives it a soul. Yeah, I'm with Ionios on this one, 100%. But the thing is, I produce my content live. It's like when you hit a play, it should make you feel something because the play was hit, and there was a chance that it wasn't going to hit. But
手札の草エネルギーを2枚海鳥につけます。さあ使いましょう。手札を山札に戻してシャッフルですね。
I'm just saying there's a Shauna in this deck, bro. But I guess post rotation, you only got so many options. All right, there's Shauna, but that post rotation, Shauna's kind of all you got. All right, fine. They drew the gas off that Shauna. All right, 0 card hand.
来金になってしまった。
そう言うな、お前。
0×3 は0ですね。ターン終了だ。
よし。1枚引きます、ドロー。何もせず技使いましょう。能力ザム、また103ダメージ与えます。海鳥が気絶。
千里
サイド1枚ゲット。
らしくないじゃないか。海鳥を前に。
手札7枚、番を割ります。
1枚引きます。ドロー。ネストボールを使おう。マナフィー、カッティングオブザピーポー。では技を使います。海鳥飛んで。よいしょ。表、2回目。裏、3回目。表6枚トラッシュだ。
いや、そろそろやばいぞ。上から6枚トラッシュ。
All right.
エネルギーが落ちたな。
Here we are. Wug Trio is gonna need some heat off the top of the deck here.
手札0枚でターン終わる。
1枚引きます。
In order to stay in the game.
8枚やばすぎる。手帳使っておきましょう。少しでも山札を増やそう。
まだ残ってやがったか。こ
こはボスのシーですかね。山札に返します。山札を引くサポート。
I like the sound effects. We could do sound effects.
カットお願いします。これで技を使いましょう。能力ザム、また130ダメージを海鳥に与えましょう。
同じことの繰り返しだ。
海鳥をラッキーです。サイド1枚ゲット。
海リグダを前に。
手札8枚、番を割ります。
1枚引きます。ドロー。ケギア3.0。
何？
上から7枚。
The Poke Gear？
現物サポートないかもしれませんからね、ここから。
強い。
Into the research！
サポ結構入ってるはずなんですけどね。ポケギアも込み込みで、マジで引かねえ。まあでも引いたからよし。引きゃいいんだよ、引きゃ。
そうだ。
そういうもんだ。で、博士の研究。7枚引いていく。潤ったエネルギーリサイクル。トラッシュの基本エネルギーを5枚まで山に戻せますが、2枚だけ戻しましょう。
All I'm saying is that, all right, so say they're filming, all that I'm saying is like, say they are filming a game and they top deck and Wug Trio is about to lose because they didn't top deck a supporter there, right? They'd be like, let's put a supporter there. Yeah, well, what if we did put one there? Like, this game's gonna be a lot more exciting if you just. What if it's like a Poke Gear into a region? Like that's a lot more exciting, Here comes Pokegear with the steel chair, right? Oh, out of nowhere. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not even saying that that's what they did. How is that worse than filming 20 games until Wug Trio wins? It's about integrity. I'm not saying that that's what they do, but I'm just saying, like, you get into, when you do get into that kind of, you get into that kind of question. I mean, apparently, well, like 80% of chat said that it, all right, so what about in skateboarding? What if you go here, okay, and you're like, all right, I want to watch someone's part, and what if you found out after watching it that that person didn't actually land those tricks? There were some of the biggest tricks were actually just edited together. It saved time. It's like, yeah, you know, well, they could have really gotten hurt and, like, save some time. It's because you're presenting something as, or I guess something more relatable. All right, let's go to Leonard. All right. Why is he? Why does he not have clothes on? Okay. Anyways. All right. So let's say, all right. What if you found out What if you found out that your favorite pack opener, I'm not saying that he does, but what if you found out that your favorite pack opener didn't actually open, like, a really good card out of the packs, and they actually just put a good card in there for the pop-off? All right, what if you found that out? What if you find that? Would that affect it? Time is money. Listen, I only got time to open 2 packs, man. I need some fire, bro. Of course it happens, McFun Guy. We all know it happens. I'm not blaming anybody, but I know it happens. Right? Let's just say, all right, I could open, 1,000 packs to find the hit, or I could just get the hit, and then I could film myself. I could just make sure that pack has this hit in it. It's the same thing. We are deep in the weeds of content philosophy, Brandon, but as someone who's a content creator, this is stuff that I think about. So, you get into the question of how much does authenticity mean to you? At a certain point, oh yeah, Liquid Death, yeah. I'm off AHA, I'm on Liquid Death now. Yeah, sorry AHA. New best friend, Liquid Death. Weigh them out, right? Now, this is when you get into content. It's Hollywood, baby. There's smoke and mirrors with everything, kind of, not everything. There's not smoke and mirrors with everything. And there doesn't have to be smoke and mirrors with everything. You could just create authentic content. I don't know why Leo is nude there, but well, that's part of what I really like about doing everything live. Is that when you produce a live show, all right, what if you guys found out that for all my best YouTube videos, because I was paying people to queue against me on the ladder and lose? What if you found out that Tricky Jim's actually a deep fake? And that all the funny pop-off moments, the script, bro. Right. That would be not cool. Why? Because integrity. Because integrity matters. All right? Integrity matters. It all matters. Yeah. Yo, I just got done reading the script, and this next episode of Tricky Jim's gonna get crazy, bro. No, of course, you know, you get cued into players who make misplays all the time. That's just part of reality, which can be fun. But then it's like the intention, you know, if I were doing something behind the scene that was that would be it would not be very honest of me. Exactly. So yeah. So tabletop content, now you got me thinking about tabletop content, and you got me thinking. In these Japanese videos, how often does the feature deck win? Probably every time. You guys know, in order for me to make, the thing is, you guys get to see how the feature deck always wins, right? You guys see how long it takes for me to get videos of that kind of content. Sometimes it'll take me days to get like a good video where I get 2 or 3 good games of the deck. And then some days I can't even, the superior deck will never be made. Why? Integrity. The superior video will never happen. Because of integrity. I can't lie to you. That deck cannot win enough games. The reason I never gave you an Arceus Pteranodon video? Integrity. Right. So, and you guys see that on the Tricky Jim VODs YouTube channel, which you guys should check out if you have not already. On the Tricky Jim VODs YouTube channel, which has almost 5,000 subscribers. Wow. Oh, this is hilarious. God. The live grief cycle. Man. You can go here and you can see exactly how long it takes me to make video on a deck, right? You can see all our games. You can see exactly how the sausage is made. The adventure is part of the content, in my mind. Getting to those wins, getting to those good games, finding the good games is part of the content. Now, you could say, yes. All right, so here's my thing. So say we've got a silly deck. And say I spend 2 hours staging a game with a silly deck to show you how it could win. And I don't show you those games live. You just see it presented for you in front of you. Or say we spend 5 hours doing a tabletop stream, workshopping a silly deck until we finally find that perfect list that gets the win we were looking for. Which one of those is better content? Which one? The authentic one is better, right? The process is part of it. Right. The challenge. You can't cheat in real life. You can't make sure that you top deck that research. People are going to build the deck and be like, it doesn't work, man. Like people who built the 40 water. That's fair, Brandon. That is fair. Some people built, well, I've got people who say they built the water Kyogre deck and that they love it. But also, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad when people view highlight content and extrapolate that to mean things that it shouldn't. Yeah. That doesn't make me feel bad. But if I were intentionally faking things, then that's different. That to me is not, that's not okay. Like if I were presenting to you a game that didn't really happen the way that I'm presenting that it did, then that's not okay. But these games did happen. And you're just seeing the, It'd be like if you watch someone's highlight reel and you put them on your fantasy football team and then you didn't do all your research and you didn't see what they're capable of, and then you are like, dang, bro, that player's not as good as I thought they were. Well, you didn't watch them play as much as you should have, right? Now, if someone's like, really like, dang, okay, well, I saw this deck work, 3 games on YouTube. I wonder if Mahomes played it anywhere else. Oh, well, here's his here's his VOD channel. I could watch him play the entire deck. Oh, okay. Well, now I see that maybe it has these weaknesses. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So I think like, you know, obviously the adventure is part of it with the tabletop streams. And, you know, finding the games where things work and showing how things don't work, that's part of the authentic content that I aim to produce here on the channel. Now, showing highlights is one thing, but actually manipulating the way that a deck works is another. And I don't think that I would ever I don't think there's any way to ever know, Brandon. We're talking about hypothetically speaking. Like, yeah, Pokemon promo. So you know what we're talking about. We're talking about hypothetically if the players in games like stack their decks or, you know, kind of manipulated their draws to make sure that the games that they played were good games where the deck that's supposed to win wins. Would that affect your opinion of it at all? That's what we're saying. So we're just having a discussion about that. We're saying like because I imagine that if a content creator were to manipulate, you know, the way that things happen, they probably wouldn't tell anybody, right? It's just between those two players, you know, the camera and God. Yeah. You don't actually tell anybody. No, Jake, it is not the same thing as parsing through games you've recorded, because one is something that did happen and the other is not something that happened. No, there is a difference between showing highlights and creating something that didn't happen. Yes, that's what we're saying, Pokemon promos. Yes. So how much of it is staged? There's a difference. There's a difference between staging content and picking highlights. There's a huge difference. If you can't see the difference between those two things, it's nuts. You have to be able to, it's like again, I'll take you to a skateboarding video. So say you're watching a skateboarding video. Okay. Whenever you watch a skateboarding, let's pull up Nyjah. All right. Okay. You think Nyjah landed that first try? All right, no, he probably didn't. All right, might have taken him 5 or 6. Now, is he lying to you by showing you him land it? No. Is he lying to you by not showing all of his bails? No. That trick could have taken him all year. It doesn't matter. He landed the trick, though. And we all trust that he landed the trick. Now, if Nyjah presents, that's why we have the Hall of Meat. That's why we have uncut parts where you do get to see the bails. That's why we have the Tricky Jim VOD channel where you could go and watch all of the games where the deck fails or falls flat or doesn't work. You could go watch all of that on the VOD channel. Now, if this trick were to be edited and spliced together or CGI'd to make it look like he landed it when he didn't, would that be okay? No, it wouldn't, right? Because that's lying. That would not be okay, right? Because then you're presenting something it's the same thing as, I'm just coming up with examples of why it's not okay. It's the same thing as our, say a pack opener, you know, to save time, money, resources. Say a pack opener splices the video to guarantee that they're going to get a good hit out of a pack. Say that happens. Right? You save time. You're just like, I just want to make sure that for the content that does it matter? Well, yes. To people that don't have integrity, it doesn't matter. But to people who do, it matters. Because it's being presented as something that didn't happen. So, that's what you're getting into, right? So then, and I'm not saying that Leo does this. I'm just saying I do know that it's something that has been done. I've heard of pack openers doing this to, you know, putting a hit, splicing a hit. Haven't some pack openers like flubbed it and you could see them doing it? I don't remember who. Somebody flubbed it. Somebody's been caught doing it. I know that. But authenticity matters a lot. So when you're talking about tabletop content, you know, I'm not going to... I like producing my content live. I like making the chat part of the adventure because you can always... Like, you don't know when you're doing pre-recorded content... You don't know if things are authentic. You don't know if things happen that way. You're just watching like a single game or whatever. And of course, that random assortment of cards could be possible for you to draw, and it could be possible, but it didn't happen. So the authenticity really matters to me. And that's something I'm really excited to start producing the league tournaments, because that's just like people showing up and playing, and you get to see, you know, there's a story there. You get to see what actually happens. That's possible, Snoopy. It's possible that everybody kind of knows that it's staged, but that's not the expectation with our content, I don't think. I don't know. This stuff's got me really thinking, though. It's I'd say at the very least it's interesting. No, Dart. Well, that's the thing. I think that part of what makes a game like this interesting is the drama, right? You've got the drama where John wins. John wins if he just top decks the Lunala. It's part of the drama, right? Yeah. It's part of the drama. Like, what's each player going to draw each turn? It's part of the drama. It's part of the story. So, people watch stuff that's not real all the time, Phoenix Fire. Yeah. What do you think reality TV is? Reality TV is like that entire concept. It's not reality, but presented as such, but it's not. Right, people watch WWE because it's like that's done. Like WWE is like everybody. Well, yeah, you know it's staged and there's a script, but that's part of the. But you know though. Yeah, Trey. I know, devastating, right? Yeah, absolutely devastating. Oh, nobody is doubting the athleticism of people on WWE, but it's a show. It's like reality TV. Right. Of course, it's like WWE was kind of like the original reality TV if you think about it. Like WWE is kind of like the predecessor of reality TV. It's like it's perfect. It's very entertaining. And nobody's doubting. Yeah, nobody's doubting like the entertainment factor of WWE and the athleticism of the people involved. Of course. LDSP, David, thank you so much for the sub and the 3 months. I appreciate that. Right. You know, just like the NFL, which is also staged. Really, the NFL and the WWE, they're like, yeah, they're kind of very similar. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's why I'm laughing. It's a joke. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. But you got to admit, the script was pretty crazy this year. Man. Yeah. Yeah, the script was definitely crazy. They really made you think Joe Burrow was going to go back to the Super Bowl. And then they just, you know, right at the last second. Crazy. Yeah, some good script writing this year. Man. But yeah, there's a lot to think about the future of the future content for Tricky Jim. I think that we can. We got to do League a couple days a week, maybe we tune in for, I think we tune into live 1 day a week, less than 3 hours, something like that. That way it's like, you still get to kind of keep tabs on what's going on, but I'm not going to allow the client to be the face of the channel anymore. So we'll dive in and kind of mess around. What? We get, 3 hours of standard live content a week. I can probably do that. But yeah, that's what, I really can't endorse it, full on to be the identity of the channel. And that way we can kind of follow along with live's, development. And we'll kind of think of it as like reaction content, talking about how the game is progressing, the good things, the bad things. Think of our time with live when we're forced over there. Think of it like that. Think of it like reaction content. We'll probably do a little bit of live reaction content every week. But I'm not going to depend on it for like the bread and butter of the channel like I depend on PTCGO right now. I plan on doing tabletop content in the studio here at least 1 day a week. So, I'll hire somebody at least 1 day a week to do tabletop with me. It'll be Jesse, or it'll be Zeely, or it'll be Will. Something like that. So I'll plan on 1 day a week doing that. 1 day a week doing a little bit of live. 2 days a week I'll be commentating over League. And then, that's 4 days a week right there. And then 1 day a week I can just do like a morning show. So that's 5 days a week. But I do need to give myself more physical time to edit. I just said I'll probably play less than 3 hours of live a week, but I'll keep up with it. I'll go in 1 day a week. So, maybe probably on Fridays, frankly. So that Fridays are my travel days. So like some days we're going to miss them. And that's okay. But on Fridays, I could pop in, we could play a little, and then just dip out. And if I don't feel like playing live on a Friday, then I just won't. And then, yeah, Amik, you got it. And then I'm thinking that Monday... Oh, because Thursday... Oh, no, because Friday I'll probably want to commentate on GLC League. Right, okay. So Friday will be GLC League. Thursday will be Standard League. So maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday will probably be our tabletop day. Yeah, we'll sprinkle a live day in there somewhere. We could do like a morning show one day in there somewhere. We could do things like tier lists, reaction content. I mean, there's like really, the more I think about it, it's not going to be so bad. I think that the biggest hurdle is going to be, I agree, Monday is the best morning show day because we could do tournament recaps, 100%. Mondays should be like, we get back from a tournament, we talk about how it went, we talk about what decks did well, maybe we watch a match, maybe we watch the finals or whatever. We talk about it. We talk about deck lists, things like that. Yeah. Something like Monday or Tuesday are going to be the best days for that. So the morning show days will probably be Mondays or Tuesdays. And you can see how the week will fill itself out. And there may need to be some time where maybe it's 4 streams a week instead of 5 to give myself enough time to edit tabletop content. I'm not exactly sure. That or I need to find an editor. One of the two. Hey, thanks for that raid of 2. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, editing. I need that. I've talked to Chip a little bit. I could talk to Chip a little bit more. Morning show. Morning show, there's a million different things you could do. You could do tier lists. You could do reaction to tournaments. You could just treat it like a podcast. We're like, all right, today we're going to talk about this a little bit. Deck building clinics. That's true, Will and Daniel. Yeah, it's true. I agree, Phoenix Fire. I agree. Set review, things like that. Like set reviews. Yeah. That kind of stuff is like... Brady, I did ignore your TFT suggestion. I did. One day of TNT a week. Yeah, I ignored that. I saw it. It wasn't that I didn't read it. I did read it. I actively didn't acknowledge it, though. So, yeah, I mean, this stream's already been going for 3 hours. If live becomes good, cool. Then we can pivot back a little bit. Well, that's why I said I'm not going to abandon complete. We'll treat live like reaction content. That's how we're treating live now. Is like, we'll tune in to see what's going on. And then, but we're not going to rely on it. So that's where like the point of stress and anxiety has been coming, because it's like I've been relying on PTCGL, but now I'm about to pivot to making sure that I can not rely on live for my content. And I'm not going to. And I think that one day a week to like go in, see how it's going, and and then not have to come back and then do it again the next day. I think that'll be good. I definitely enjoy that. Right, like 5 days a week of live is just, I think I'll burn my retinas out. I don't think I can actually do it. So, what if live all of a sudden is updated overnight to look like Arena? The hexes were just placeholder. That's an insane amount of cope right there. That's like an unhealthy amount of cope. That's not even remotely healthy. Yeah, you should see a doctor, I think. Yeah. You should see a doctor if you're coping that hard. Oh boy. All right. So I think that it's funny because I was so nervous about content and the future of the content last night that I could barely sleep, but even just talking through it today, I think has got me feeling it's got me feeling more confident. It's got me feeling better about what we're going to do. I think that the days of me logging on to the Pokemon trading card game online and just streaming for 6 hours straight, those kinds of days are going to be gone for the time being, because that kind of thing is just not really going to exist for a while. Now, maybe live gets to the point where we can have fun with it in that kind of way. Maybe it does. And then maybe we start to migrate back that way eventually. But for the time being, absolutely not. Not for a while anyways. So streams are probably going to exist as more like 3 to 4 hours for a while, I'm imagining. Because that's going to allow me to have more time to edit the tabletop content that I need to create. It's also a more manageable amount of time for things like a morning show, for things like set reviews, for things like tier lists. It's not going to be a just like turn the brain off and thank you, Captain Bandomus, for the Prime sub. And welcome to the stream, Captain. Welcome. Could I recreate the deck building experience with Chat IRL that we lose once PTCGL is behind us? That's stuff to think about too. There's a lot we got to figure out. How we're going to present things, how we're going to, maintain some of the, the funny deck building experiences. I mean, we're going to have live, and we'll showcase a little bit of live once a week. But I don't want to do live more than once a week. So, things like tier lists, things like reaction content, 1 day a week of just like basically just chatting 1 day a week, where it's kind of like a podcast, but not a podcast. We could bring on guests. There's lots of different stuff. We can react to matches from regionals. We can bring on guests, and interview players from regionals. We can make tier lists. We could do set reviews, all that kind of stuff. I think I'm going to make it openings. I mean, when I do product openings, that's like a whole thing. Right. So there's going to be a day a week where it's like that's the kind of vibe. Probably Mondays or Tuesdays. That's going to be the kind of thing that we do. Just press live and like whatever's happening. If there's Twitter content to digest, we'll hop on to Z Holtzman. I'm gonna abstain from answering that, Z Holtzman. Just feel like it's not good for me. Sometimes you just gotta bite your tongue. I'm gonna just leave that one there. we're just gonna pat that one down and leave her right there. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I mean, Holtzman, I've said everything that I can say, and this is where we're at. So you can take that for what it is, right? So yeah. And then, like I said, so one day a week will be kind of like morning show reaction content, one day a week. And it's part of me, I'm telling you guys, but I'm also telling myself, of like, I'm trying to gas myself up for like this new kind of normal that we're going to be getting to once the PTCGO is down. So I think that part of me is also not trying to, I'll probably try to start slowly inching towards the new normal, right? Before PTCGO goes down, so that we're all kind of, so it's not like a whiplash shock, you know. I kind of want to start to kind of ease into it, because I'm gonna have to find more time to edit videos and stuff like that. I was just like, there's a lot I'm gonna have to figure out. I have to hire an editor. Yeah. I've said, if you guys are interested in the plan, I've been talking about it for 3 hours, but live, we'll probably do one day a live a week, less than 3 hours. Probably, that's about as much as I can tolerate. But theoretically. Yeah. One day a week, less than 3 hours. Treat it like reaction content, where we're kind of just like keeping track of how the content is, how the client is evolving over time. Yeah. So yeah, small part of the plan. We'll treat it like reaction content. We're going to log in. We're just going to see how it's going. And then, you know, I'll probably just butt out, you know, after a couple hours of live every week to focus on editing videos or something like that. So if I give myself that amount of time to edit videos, then I should be able to create some really special stuff for YouTube. And I'm going to continue kind of moving that way. The tabletop produced content for YouTube, you know, the VOD channel is going to hold all of the stream VODs and everything. Producing league nights, Wednesday and Thursday nights are our league nights here. We're going to produce those during our live segments on Thursday and Friday mornings. That's the goal anyways. I'll hire one person to do tabletop with me a week. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But I'm starting to feel, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Calvin Cards. Yeah. Making the streams, in the meantime, while I figure things out, maybe hire an editor. And that's the thing, if I hire an editor, then I can go back to streaming longer. So that's, yeah. So like that's all going to be up in the air. But I physically can just only do so much. And I'm excited about the future of the channel. I think it's going to be really good. I am. I've thought about something that I've talked to while we're talking about YouTube videos and things like that. I've thought about starting to pay Riley and JW for, you know, their podcast episodes that they produce every week, of which I'm going to be featured on the Tag Team podcast. I don't know if they upload to YouTube still. I think they're just on podcasts. Let's see. Yeah, they stopped uploading to YouTube. All right, let's see. There we are. Yeah, so they presented by Manscaped. Yeah. So this could be presented by Tricky Jim. Manscaped only gives them so much. So I could buy out the podcast and then I could start uploading the podcast. They stream it on Riley's Twitch channel. And I've thought about having them hosting the video portion of the podcast on my YouTube channel. But I don't know if people be into that. you know, give us an extra. They do a great job. Yeah, they do a really great job, and I love their podcast. I mean, we could bring in the tag team podcast and just start featuring it on Tricky Gym every week, where it's like one of my videos a week is a tag team podcast where they talk about stuff. So that's something that's been swirling around in my noggin as well. They do a great job. I love their podcast. So, and they talk about some really insightful stuff. And, I would just have to basically pay them to have it featured here. And the asking rate isn't too much because I just have to pay more than Manscaped. But I don't know if people would be even interested in that. It's like, people come to Tricky Gym for Tricky Gym. They go to Tag Team Podcast for Tag Team Podcast. So I don't know if it's worth it to feature it on my channel. It does kind of diversify the content that does get released on the channel, which I like a lot. Just makes the channel like a little deeper. They don't post on YouTube right now, no. They used to, but they stopped. Now it's just on podcast platforms. I think there's really no reason for me to go to TikTok, I don't think. Couldn't see a reason to start creating on TikTok. Yeah, Riley and JW, they do live stream.
We'll start recording in 3, 2.
Let's see, where am I?
1. Yo, what is up, guys?
Yes. See, they stream their podcasts. So, I mean,
Welcome back to Tag Team.
Shout out to the Tag Team Podcast. They stream on Munner. That's Riley's Twitch channel every Wednesday night. I'm going to be featured on their podcast tomorrow night. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, they do a nice podcast. The two of them. It's usually about an hour. And they talk about some really nice stuff. I love what they do. They do a great job. But I don't know. The thought of putting that on the YouTube channel, I just don't know if it would. Yeah, I don't know. It's like people. People come to the Tricky Gym YouTube channel for one thing. If they start getting another, I don't know if that would like kind of mess with things. So, something that I've been thinking about quite a bit, though. And that's another way to add more content to the channel, would be if I just enlist those guys, start featuring here. Because I think that Azul and Chip do a really good job with their podcast, and their podcasts are like relatively successful. Like real relatively successful, honestly. On YouTube, they get like a real healthy amount of views, frankly. Considering the size of their channel. They got 4,000 subs, but their videos frequently get that many views, which is quite good. So I've thought about, bringing on JW and Riley's podcast and featuring it on Tricky Gym not unlike this. You know, just it would be the tag team podcast presented by Tricky Jim. Yeah, basically would be what we do. I mean, other channels do stuff like this. If you go to like Thrasher, right? You go to like Thrasher's YouTube channel, right? Their whole set, they got Skateline, dude. Skateline is a show that's produced on Thrasher. I don't watch anything on Thrasher except for Skateline. That's the only, I keep up once a week. I watch Skateline. It's a nice little 2 minutes. Good to go. And this dude's got his own YouTube channel, but I don't watch that either. Yeah, Gary's got his own, Gary Reacts. I don't watch that. I just watch Gary do Skateline. And then if there's like a real banger part that I hear about from Gary, I might go watch it. If there's something that I hear about from Gary and Skateline that's interesting enough, I might then go watch that. I know. King of the Road was sick. I've seen like all of it. Yeah. So I don't think that, you know, I think that this kind of thing has got, it certainly is something that I could try. You know, featuring the tag team podcast on Tricky Jim. I certainly could try it and just try it out, see how it works. If it works, great. If not, you know. But it would give like a nice regular upload to the channel. Like a more meta focused podcast like thing. I mean, I think they do a great job, but they just don't have like the platform necessarily. You know, I mean, they do well on podcasting platforms. They do, and they've been doing it for a while. But, you know, I think popping their discussions onto YouTube would be pretty cool. So, I don't know. That's something else that I think about. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here today. I know, today just a just chatting stream. But I've got tabletop content to edit. So, I'm going to spend the rest of my day doing that. And contemplating the future of Tricky Jim. So, thank you guys all so much for the stream. Y'all take it easy and have a good one. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you guys for humoring me and listening to me rant about and contemplate the future of the channel. I very much appreciate that. All right. See you guys.